Rochester Police Accountability Board vowing to move forward despite another major legal setback. Now, the state's highest court has blocked the PAB from taking any role in disciplining officers, including holding hearings, compelling officer testimony, or publishing case reports with recommendations. The ruling builds on a 2020 decision that already stripped the board's disciplinary powers. It's unclear, though, if the PAB will appeal as City Council works to determine next steps. In a statement, the Rochester Police Locust Club said it was pleased with the judge's ruling, writing in part, quote, "We have known for many years that the PAB's activities were outside of its statutory authority. The decision reflects that reality." Arundecoit Town Supervisor Andre Evans is taking the Monroe County Board of Elections to court, fighting to get on the Democratic primary ballot. Last week, the board said Evans was 11 signatures short of the 500 needed to qualify. But Evans says his petition included more than 600 valid signatures. Evans can still run for re-election as an independent, but only if he files by May 27th. We have reached out to the Board of Elections for comment, but have not yet heard back. This legal fight comes as Evans faces a civil lawsuit over sexual harassment claims. A judge recently denied his request to return to work in person after Evans was censured a second time and ordered to work remotely. The Monroe County DA says no criminal charges will be filed, but submitted a petition calling for his removal from office. Evans has denied any wrongdoing. And we expect answers today from the Brockport School District after 13 WAM uncovered new details about the arrest of a district employee. Police records show Todd Haygreen was arrested in March in Saratoga Springs for DWI, and the vehicle involved matches one registered to the school district. Haygreen is currently listed on the district's website as the Director of Health, Physical Education, and Athletics. The district sent a letter to families in March acknowledging an employee arrest, but did not name Haygreen. We're waiting to hear today if the district will confirm his status. An Afghan citizen is facing federal charges after an FBI operation on Rochester's east side. Prosecutors say Dilbar Gul Dilbar committed visa fraud, accused of lying on his application for a special visa reserved for those who helped the U.S. military before moving to the country. He faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted. Over in Albany, a controversial bill to legalize physician-assisted suicide in New York is now before the state Senate. After hours of emotional debate, the state assembly passed the Medical Aid in Dying Act earlier this week. The bill would allow mentally competent adults given 6 months or less to live to be prescribed life-ending medication if they choose. Now, if it passes, New York would become the 11th state, along with Washington, D.C., to legalize some form of medical aid in dying. For all these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Back to you.
All right, Steph, thank you. We'll get to the forecast now. We're going to see some showers out there today. And unfortunately, that's going to be kind of the case as we look ahead to the weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of going to be wet out there this weekend. But don't worry, there will be a couple of breaks of sunshine. Marty says it won't be a total washout, will it, Marty?
That's true, yeah, especially today. I think today's one of those cases where, yeah, the risk of rain is there. You need to be aware of it, but this picture pretty much tells the story right there. You can notice how we're starting off with at least a few showers out there, but most areas are dry right now. But just keep in mind that there are a few of those passing through. Some of those over towards Buffalo right now, a few just south of Rochester and even southeast of town. The ones that are at least closer to Rochester are either lining up anywhere from Phelps to almost down towards Geneva. Even as you look just south of Rochester, you get down towards Honeoye and even across the line towards Livonia, those areas seeing at least a few showers as well. So very isolated activity. It's out there, but you just need to be aware of it. Heading into the afternoon, it may be in those areas to the south and southeast where there's a little more focus for a shower or thunderstorm. We'll be closing in on 70 for a high temperature today and staying just a little bit humid. Nothing oppressive, but it's above what we have been seeing over recent months, of course, so it makes it noticeable. In the 50s for the weekend, we'll see some occasional showers for both days. Still some dry time periods, but still that risk of rain is there. And then longer term, I think we'll get back into the 60s, maybe even near 70 as we head deeper into next week. So a little hope for the longer term weekend. Leaves a little bit to be desired, but at least for today, we'll see a few breaks of sunshine try to work in, but still had chances there for a few showers here and there today.
All right, Marty, we'll take it because I guess we don't have a choice.
We have no other choice.
No options. All right, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hey, 8:06, let's go off the top and start with some stories that have piqued our interest. I'm going to kick things off today, and I want to talk about punching bags. There's a difference between a punching bag and a person. A punching bag's designed to absorb hits. It's built for it. A person, not so much. And lately, it feels like a lot of people are taking a lot of swings. Recently, listen to me here, don't just change the channel. Recently, Katy Perry has been everyone's punching bag. Every time I turn on my phone, there's a new headline. She's taking hits for going to space, for her music, for her tour, you name it, she just cannot win. And just to be clear, I have no strong opinion on Katy Perry either way. I'm not waving a fan flag, but I'm also not mad at her. And that's kind of the point of my rant right now. This isn't about Katy Perry. It's about why people feel the need to pick at others and tear them apart. Most people are doing this, and they're just doing the best they can. If you don't like someone's decisions, that's your right. But when you find yourself angry about a stranger's life choices, when you're spending your time tearing someone down online, when you're waiting for them to fail so you can cheer on, I gotta ask, why? Why are we so invested in who we dislike instead of who we do like? Why do we spend so much time talking about what makes us mad instead of what makes us better? If a pop star going to space is really ruining your day, if that is your biggest outrage in life, then honestly, I think you're gonna be okay. And if you're not, well, then maybe it's just time to put the gloves down and tackle your own issues. Maybe it's time to stop swinging, step back, and remember, people deserve kindness. Even people you don't agree with or don't understand. Because at the end of the day, Katy Perry's not a punching bag, nor is anyone else. She's a human being, she's a person, and you know what? So are you. And with that, I rest my case.
Wow, that was very inspirational.
Well, thank you.
And you know what?
Well, again, it's got nothing to do with Katy Perry.
Sure.
I just see it, she's filling up the feed for my algorithm stuck or something. I don't know.
The flavor of the month.
Exactly.
I feel like anytime anything remotely big happens in pop culture, the people on the internet who can hide behind their phones are so quick to jump on it.
Get a hobby.
Yeah. It's never that serious.
Knitting is supposed to lower your blood pressure, I think. Try pottery. You can, have a Demi Moore ghost moment if you'd like.
Wow.
Find a fling. I mean, do something. Put the phone down. Touch some grass.
There we go. All right.
That's all I got.
I think you need to tell me when you're going to go on one of these, I don't want to call them rants because they're not. When you're going to preach. I need to know when you're going to be doing that. Because now we got to switch to mine.
No, but listen, here's the thing. I don't know. I wrote it one way and I was like, wait a second. This is way too Katy Perry centric. And that's not the point.
Yeah.
So I don't know when they're going to shift. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
I want to know what you've got.
Well, all right. Buckle up. Here we go.
Okay.
Funeral home. A funeral home director in Pittsburgh has actually turned himself into police this week. He's accused of running a massive scam involving the cremation of people's pets.
No.
Yeah. 70-year-old Jacob Vereb is the owner of Vereb Funeral Home and Eternity Pet Memorial. For several years, pet owners thought that they were paying him for cremations. However, the Pennsylvania Attorney General says Vereb didn't actually perform all of the cremations at all. Instead, he allegedly dumped thousands of dogs and cats into a landfill and then gave the owners random ashes from unknown animals. From 2021 to 2024, he made over $650,000 from these grieving pet parents. I really wish we weren't showing pictures of happy pets right now, but unfortunately, this is the only video we're allowed to use. Pet owners who have been affected say they're devastated and they're heartbroken, knowing that these members of their family, essentially, didn't get the proper care that they paid for and that they deserve. Almost 7,000 people are expected to be affected by Vereb's alleged actions. It's quite a few people because, get this, dozens of veterinary clinics in that area in several counties partnered with the funeral home to take care of these animals that died in their care, whether they were put down or, other circumstances. Ultimately, these veterinary clinics had no reason to suspect anything uncouth. Vereb is facing felony charges, including theft by deception, receiving stolen property, and deceptive business practices. He was arraigned and will be back in court next week. While the investigation continues, a website has been set up for those who think that they may be victims in the case. Now, I did a little bit of digging, and you'd be surprised to know there are quite a few cases that are kind of similar to this in one way, shape, or form. In 2011, a woman by the name of Emma Bent, who operated Peak Pet Cremations in Derbyshire, was jailed for 8 months. She admitted to dumping pets' bodies in a field instead of cremating them, as she promised to pet owners. In 2023, a man by the name of Jacob Jetton, the owner of a pet cremation service in Kentucky, was arrested for the third time following an investigation into his business practices. Authorities say they found decomposed animal remains in his vehicle, and customers reported not receiving their pets' ashes. He faced multiple charges, including theft by deception and operating without a proper license. So, it is heartbreaking. It really is. And, you know, with this man, innocent until proven guilty, he did turn himself in to police. He's 70. He's been doing this for a while, been in the business for what seems like a long time. But right now they're just tracing it back to starting in 2021, so over the course of a couple years. But wouldn't you be devastated and furious?
That it's egregious is what it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty disgusting
Yeah.
to make money off the backs of grieving pet owners, promising one thing and not doing it. Listen, if you don't want to fulfill the job, if you don't want to do that job anymore, then don't do that job. But cashing checks and conning people, scamming people, that's not good.
There has to be a level of respect for those who've passed on.
100%.
You know, just because they're not...
Especially for pets. They're animals.
I mean, anybody though. I mean, think about if it was, you know,
absolutely
your parents, your
but
grandma,
again,
your grandpa.
just animals. They're so innocent because they don't intend any harm to anyone, and they do not deserve that, nor do their owners. So listen, if he's guilty, he gets what he gets, and you know, maybe all the online trolls should focus on actual things like that. And not about concerts and costumes, right?
We've come full circle.
Full circle. Stick around. When we come back, we are checking in with Chris Lopez, who's learning more about a show that's like Cirque du Soleil, but with just two dudes.
Yeah, and don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. Stream us live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back on the other side of the commercial break.
6:17 tonight, an award-winning off-Broadway show is returning to Jiva Theater.
Yeah, the show is called Generic Mal, and it brings acrobatics and a little bit of humor to the stage, too. Chris Lopez is live this morning at Jiva Theater giving us a behind-the-scenes look. Chris, what are we doing?
Okay, we're going to try and do something. I don't know. I already forgot what we were supposed to do. I'm here with Darren Stevenson, Ashley Jones, 2 stars of the show, 2 people that go to Push Theater. So we're going to be doing something. I already forgot what we're doing, but it's choreography when it comes to the show.
Yeah, we're going to teach you how to dance like a man, a sexy man.
Sexy man. I'm going to try and become that in this next 5 seconds. Okay.
Ready?
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 5, 6. T-Rex, here we go. Step together, step together, step together, step. Booty in the air, swing it around. Yeah, good. Running around. Follow me. Ready? Big finish. Go. Yes. All right, next thing we're going to teach you, just watch this bit. All right, we're going to do this, Chris.
All right.
Ready? Okay. That.
Some combat.
Yeah, but then we're going to go into this. Now you got to decide if you want to be Ashley or me. And then,
Pretty hard decision.
after that bit, we'll do this bit. And of course you can start here.
No, I'm not going to be doing this at all.
You just have to squeeze your abs,
You
Chris.
can either be me or Darren, Chris.
Yeah, you got to make a
Just
decision here.
pick which man you want to be.
I'll ask Dan and Abby at the very end of this hit here. Choreography. Huge part of this show, right? We were going over how you guys essentially wrote the show, and yes, the show is scripted, despite it being pretty. It looks essentially like you guys are completely going out of nowhere, right? It's chaotic.
Yes.
But the choreography, how do you guys start to mold that when it comes to the story? Because that, I feel, is some random act.
Yeah. It starts with a random, arbitrary rule. Like one of our pieces, we started with, okay, Ashley doesn't touch the floor. So how many things can we do with him airborne? He's jumping, or he's climbing on me, or walking on me, or I'm lifting him somewhere. Like how many things can we do where he doesn't touch the floor? It could have been any rule. It didn't have to be that one, but that's the one we picked. And then about 90% of everything you try is garbage. None of it works. But there'll be something that you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. My wife is a performer. She's the artistic director of the company. So often she's sitting in the corner of the room going, no, no, no. Oh, I like that.
Was she essentially kind of the curator of the show when you guys would practice this? Would she be watching or hearing from backstage or telling you guys, no, yeah, maybe you should try it like this?
Yeah, very often. In fact, we were creating this show during COVID. Okay. So we had converted, back room of our house into a studio. So she'd be back there teaching online classes for kids in Australia, and we're in the other room writing this. And then every now and then we'd hear her go, not funny, try that again. Oh, that's funny. And then, so it ended up being quite freeform, I think.
And how do you guys prepare for this show? Incredibly physical. You have to be in shape to do this. There's no way you cannot come in here not in shape to be able to, and you guys are not mic'd up. So a room like this, you are going to have to really project, and you're tired. So what do you do to prepare for that?
Well, so we have a lot of vocal exercises and also physical exercises that we do. We obviously warm up just like any athlete would warm up.
Okay.
A lot of stretching, a lot of mobility stuff to get our body moving, to get kind of the blood flowing in the body. But similarly, you take that concept and you put it to the voice. So we do a lot of vocal warm-ups, we do a lot of exercises, a lot of random talking. We start quite low, and then we have to kind of raise our voice slightly and enunciate and practice doing weird things with our voice, because this is how you warm up the voice. And then once you've warmed all that up, you're ready to perform. And then actually the show itself really physically is kind of easy for us because we've trained so much.
Okay.
But doing those warm-ups, doing those little bits of kind of the push-ups, the press-ups, little bit of jogging around the space just to get the blood flowing.
Calisthenics, running, essentially, you guys are doing to prep for that show?
Yeah, we do just go to the gym. Like it's not
Okay,
it's
easy.
not
Just
rocket
go.
science. It's go lift, and then there's all the technical training, which does feel like rocket science by comparison. But it's a matter of consistency and discipline, which is funny because the show feels like the opposite
Chaos.
of that.
You guys are describing, and I'm listening to you guys describe how you created the show, how the show goes, the reception from the audience, what Ashley is doing, what you're doing. All I'm thinking is chaos. How did you write this in? I don't know. We're gonna pick their brains a little bit more coming up here on ARC Rochester. Tune in at about 8:40. I'll say. I'll learn a move. I'll be one of you. I don't know. Dan, Abby, you can decide that. Send it back to you guys in studio.
Oh, Chris.
Chris, Abby is thoroughly enjoying watching
no,
you dance.
I am. You're really getting the hang of it, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like I'm being laughed at, but I'm going to take that.
No,
as a
We're not
compliment.
laughing at
But
you.
Thank you, Abby. I appreciate it.
Dan had a crazy idea for when we first came out from.
No, Ashley had a crazy idea for when we were coming to toss to you. She wanted me to she wanted me on the ground on all fours and Abby to sit on me side saddle, like kind of doing push theater, in our toss to you. And Abby flat out refused. She said she
We're not
didn't get
doing
paid
that.
enough.
Okay, all right. Yeah, totally understandable. That's an idea, though. That'd make for a memorable toss. We could do a memorable hit in this, and we could all put it in a bow. I'll send it back to you guys. You guys will do
Showbiz,
flips of
baby.
some sort?
Showbiz.
I don't know.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate it.
When we come back, Mark will be here with our weather trivia this Friday morning.
We're back on the other side of the break. What? Was good.
Hey, welcome back. Mark is joining us now with a look at the weekend forecast and our Friday weather trivia.
All right, weather trivia. So what were you doing 7 years ago on this date?
Hold on.
7 years ago on this date.
So that is 20. What
That's-
year is it
The
now?
fast math would put
2025.
you in 2018.
That would be 2018. This date. I don't know. What day of the week was it?
That's a good guy. That I don't know. I just know the date, May 2nd, 2018.
Okay, if it were a Monday through Friday, I would be in the grocery store just having finished doing the morning show in Elmira.
Okay.
Getting ready to graduate.
Getting ready to graduate. Okay. So on this date in 2018, Rochester set a record high temperature. So it was a nice warm day. Check out the weather trivia for today. How warm do you think it got on this date just 7 years ago? Was it 85 degrees? Was it 80 degrees? Was it 90 degrees? Or was it 95 degrees on this date just 7 years ago?
Okay, now wait. We know the last 80-degree day of 2024 was
November 5th.
November 5th, which was a Tuesday.
Yes.
We know just last week, was it, that we experienced 83 degrees?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so it was 83 degrees, and that was in January, February, March, April. So, okay, now we're into May.
We're in May.
Did any of what I just said help us solve this?
Well, I think deductively you just got rid of one of the selections, right?
Okay. I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
So I don't think it's B.
Okay.
We will have the answer on ARC Rochester at 9 a.m. And we'll also have a cool space chat.
Yeah.
What
Tony
was
Rice.
the question?
What was the record high?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
what was the record high? So that's
Those
also
the
up on
record high.
Facebook. If you want to plant your guess there, we'll put those up also at 9 o'clock. But we have to talk about the weather forecast here for the next few days. Now, usually large L's with big green arrows going around them are great things in weather. And then when they stop somewhere near us,
Yeah.
not great.
No.
You okay? You seem like really bummed about this.
Well, I am, because that forecast right there is,
It's a massive area of low pressure.
and it's a big change.
Thank you,
You're
meteorologist
welcome.
Dan Trek.
It's a big change from the weather that we were looking at earlier this week. So basically, it's a cutoff low, and that means that our chance for showers is there on a daily basis, just about through the middle and end of next week. So it's going to be one of these slow-moving storm systems. But at least for right now, we've got a little sunshine. That's nice to see. 65 degrees, lots of clouds in the forecast for today. The west wind at 11. And after school for the kiddos, it depends on where you are. If you're watching from south of Rochester, I think there's a chance for some showers and even an isolated thunderstorm. But the temperature is pretty okay. You know, we're going to be in the upper 60s to near 70 for a lot of spots. That's nice and comfortable during that time. And that chance for rain, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, it's in that, that 40% chance for a lot of spots. We've got a couple of sprinkles out there on Ultimate Doppler. They're moving in from the west. And again, a lot of this is going to focus south of Rochester as we go through the course of the day. The rain from last night, you can see that off to our east. That's moving away as well. So not a steady rain, not an all-day rain, but just enough that I think you'll notice, especially to the south. You see a 1/10 of an inch, a 1/4 of an inch of rain by Saturday morning. That'll be the experience for a lot of us. But temps today should top out near 70 with that thunder threat, especially south, and the 7-day forecast. As you can see, there's some changes there. Especially for your weekend, it's in the 50s. It's going to be a weekend for the indoor chores. Still rainy next week, and unfortunately, it depends on where you are when these weather patterns set up, because these can be great weather patterns for certain spots of the country. One spot will get stuck in high pressure and sunshine. One spot will get stuck in a cutoff low, which just doesn't move. It becomes a vertically stacked low. It's cut off from the jet stream. There's nothing to push it. It would be like a log on a river going down the river, and all of a sudden there's this little cove or something off to the side, and the log gets stuck out in the cove, and there's nothing to push it out, and get rid of it. So it's the same thing in weather. When you get these weather patterns that set up like this, it's just tough to get any real change. We could use a little rain. Actually, technically, according to the drought monitor, Western New York is still technically abnormally dry. So with a little bit lower than normal precip. So I guess it's not such a terrible thing.
I feel like he's here. He's like, it's awful, but
Yeah.
he's trying to shine something.
It takes
Compliment
away the extremes too. So we don't have the high highs and the low lows. So from a gardening standpoint, it's not a bad thing to have the showers, because it keeps those overnight temperatures up, and the daytime temperatures, unfortunately, are a little lower.
What are we thinking? Can we maybe move the plants out a little early?
I've experienced frost in the last week of this month, but if we get to the middle of May and there's no low 30s, upper 30s in the forecast, I'll start sneaking stuff out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
And only 48 days left.
Yes.
There we go.
48 days, 15 hours,
that boat.
28 minutes, 7
Get me on
seconds. Love it.
All right, cool. Time right now, 8:32. Much more to get to here on Arc Rochester.
We're back right after this. Welcome back, and thanks so much for sticking with us here on Arc Rochester. We want to get right to our next guest this morning. They're gearing up for a very exciting weekend.
Yeah, the Mental Health Association of Rochester is teaming up with Premier Talent Relations to host a weekend for well-being, all to spread awareness and raise money for local mental health initiatives.
Yeah, they have an exciting and star-studded lineup, and this morning we're taking a look at some of the events that you at home can still take part in.
For more, we're joined now by the Mental Health Association President and CEO Valerie Way, Premier Talent Relations founder Joe Lynch, and NBA Hall of Fame alumni and mental health advocate Jermaine Jones. Good morning, all of you. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Let's get right into it. Tell us about this weekend, Weekend for Wellbeing.
Sure. So we're super excited for the weekend. It came about when Joe approached us for Mental Health Awareness Month here in May, and approached us and said, let's do something big to promote mental health awareness, and that's really how it all started.
And why is this cause so important to you?
Yeah, so in 2018, I lost someone very special to suicide. And it was super important to me that we make people aware in the community of the stigma around mental health, make sure there's resources for people, that they don't feel lonely, that they don't feel helpless. And I do a lot of work with athletes and local celebrities here in Rochester, and it was important to me to bring them back into the community, bring some special guests in like Jermaine from out of town, who is a big advocate for mental health, and really give back to the community and raise awareness.
And I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you.
I think it's so important to take that pain and turn it into something that is good for the community and will ultimately help other people and save
Absolutely.
lives.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your involvement. Tell us how you got into all of this.
Well, a lot of it because of my personal experiences. It's one of 4 people that experience mental health issues, and I didn't realize a lot of issues that I was experiencing until after my career, because I was using basketball as a coping skill. So, me going to counseling, doing the work, as much as I did to make the NBA and be part of that 1%, that's how much work I had to do to be able to overcome a lot of issues that I had growing up in my childhood. So, for me to be able to get out and help others go through it, I help a lot of NBA players, athletes in general, transition out of sport, especially with me going through a 3-year depression after I retired from the game.
Yeah, I have to imagine that change in lifestyle, leaving behind something that you loved and cherished so much, like a lot of things in life, it's a different season of your life, but that shift can be devastating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It definitely can be devastating, especially if you've been dealing with some things that you didn't understand or know about, to be able to go to counseling and get the help and understand who I was, because I allowed basketball to kind of identify me. And, once that was over, that's when a lot of things, resurfaced from my childhood that I didn't understand, but counseling really helped me be able to overcome it.
And touching on that and going back to what Joe said about stigma surrounding mental health, I think for so many people there is, anxiety surrounding seeing somebody who could provide help, whether it's a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist or any of the above. What would you say to anybody out there who's feeling uncomfortable with their emotions and what they're dealing with?
Help's available. And at the Mental Health Association, we're a little bit different because we don't have psychiatrists or nurses or therapists. Our staff have lived their own mental health journeys, and so they're able to provide guidance and support and hope to individuals who are going through mental health struggles, and to help guide them and provide them empathy and understanding because they've been there too.
Let's get back to, if we can, more toward the what people can expect, because there are still events that people can take part in, correct?
Correct.
Absolutely.
Let's dive in. What do we have?
Well, tonight we're kicking off with a comedy and dinner show and live band and music at Eagle Vale. We're really excited about that. Tomorrow we have a youth basketball clinic, and then tomorrow night we have a star-studded basketball game at Gates Chili High School.
Ooh, are we playing in the star-studded basketball game?
I am playing.
You are playing. Do you know who you're playing against?
It doesn't matter.
Fair response. Fair response there.
That's great. All right, for somebody sitting at home who's thinking, I really want to stop by, I want to get involved, how can they do so? And if somebody is unable to come to any of the events this weekend, is there still a way for them to take part?
Absolutely. Our MHA website, mental health, MHARochester.org is our website. All of the information can be found there, tickets, and whatnot. Also, the ability to provide a donation or, just to get involved would be helpful.
Terrific. And tonight's event, our own Stephanie Joseph is actually going to be the MC, so you'll get a chance to see her there if you decide to go.
Thank you all so much for your
Thank
time
you.
today. We
Thanks
really
for having
appreciate it. And thank you for all you're doing for folks in our area. If you're interested, head over to foxrochester.com. We'll post all the information you need to know.
8:40 this morning. Stick around. When we come back, we're once again checking in with Chris Lopez, who is live at Jiva Theater, checking out their unique upcoming show.
Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back on the other side of the break. Happening tonight, an award-winning acrobatic comedy is returning to the stage at Jiva Theater.
Yeah, the show is called Generic Male, and it brings athleticism and acrobatics and puts them on the stage with a bit of humor in this performance. Chris Lopez wanted to get a behind-the-scenes look. He is live for us this morning at Jiva Theater. He has been learning how to do some of these moves. Chris, I gotta be honest, it's kind of impressive what you're doing today, my friend.
Really? You think that there's... I don't know how I look. I don't know. Darren said I wasn't that bad. Ashley
I think you look
told me...
great.
Okay.
You look great.
Real man here. Real man.
I guess I'm doing all right then. All right. Okay. I'll take the compliment. Thank you, guys. I
mean, that is
appreciate
coming
it.
from Englishmen, and we are not known as the most masculine.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
Take that for what it's worth.
How did you guys get into this? Right, there's so many different avenues of performance that you guys could have went. Really, anything could be perceived as performance, but you guys chose physical performance, and to be this physical, the acrobatics, and still be on stage. What drew you to this?
For me, it was being very shy. When I was a kid, I couldn't.
You were shy?
Yeah, I couldn't have a conversation with people. I couldn't figure out what to say. I was just a shy kid. And about 13, 14, I had an opportunity to be in a play. I was terrified. And the first night, I mean, I was almost in tears backstage. And then I walk onto the stage, and it all went away. I suddenly realized I don't have to think of what to say. They wrote the words down for me. I should say that. And the confidence of having people respond, that was life-changing. And then it was just a matter of, well, what kind of a performer do I want to be? And I love the physical work. I like pushing my body. And so that.
You started Push Theater, right?
Yeah, my wife and I, Heather, we started the company 25 years ago right here in Rochester. Yeah.
Ashley, what drew you to Push Theater?
Oh, yeah, so I've been doing physical theatre. I started as an actor. I then went into circus and found kind of physical theatre. And I've been doing that in England and Europe for a few years. And I came across Push. I came across Rochester. Admittedly, I went to New York City thinking that Rochester was maybe half an hour away.
Somewhere around there?
Somewhere there. How big can New York be? Turns out, pretty big.
Yeah.
And then so I had to hop on another plane, came to Rochester. I trained with these guys, trained with Push. They do like a summer intensive every summer. And then we stayed in touch, stayed in contact. And then when they were looking for new dancers and new performers, I threw my hat into the ring and was like, hey, I'll come and do it. And here I am.
What's everyone, what's the best thing about performing? What's the worst thing about performing when it comes to physical theater?
You go first.
Darren.
Ashley, worst thing.
Worst thing, Darren.
Worst, no, he's the worst thing.
No, you're the worst.
The worst. The worst thing is the injuries that happen. It's bumps and bruises most of the time, but every now and then you get a bad one. And I was laid up for 5 weeks one time because I broke my ankle on stage during a performance, and finished. I didn't realize. I heard the bone.
Crazy. Adrenaline.
I thought I had broken the stage rather than my ankle, which is pretty stupid. Don't do that. But that's the thing that just the exhaustion of that. Maybe that's the worst.
Ashley, real quickly, because we got about a minute left. I still got to do some type of physical theater thing. Worst thing.
Worst thing is the late nights. I'm an early to bed kind of guy.
I dig it right there. Okay. I'm going to send this off to you. What are we doing?
So you're going to lay on the floor. You are going to lift my entire body upside down, Chris. This is it. Don't mind if I touch your knees.
Face.
Gently caress your kneecaps. Here we go. And then Chris is going to brace. Chris, fortunately, is quite strong. Oh, look at that. Perfect.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
This is not bad.
And then we're going to come down.
We didn't practice this one. Okay, never mind.
Well, eventually you got to come down. And then push back. Nice. Hanging. Boom. Look at that.
And then we do this. Yes. Boom. Guys, here tonight, 7:30, tomorrow, 2:30 and 7:30. Tickets at jivatheater.com.
.org.
Or just show up, grab some tickets.
Turn up, we'll be here, you'll be here. Let's do the show. You'll be here, Chris?
Yes.
You're in the show now?
Yep. Roller coaster, I'm the third generic male.
Yep.
Yes.
I think
back
Chris,
to you guys in studio.
Chris, I think you could be an understudy.
I agree. Yeah.
Or a swing. Yeah.
Understudy? They say I could be an understudy?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, he's in the show. He's in the
He's
show.
in the show.
Wow.
Understudy.
He
right.
got
Graduated.
the job. He
Understudy
got
to
job.
in the show.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Time right now is 8:48. When we come back, we're learning more about an upcoming music competition happening this weekend.
We're back right after this. $8:51 this Friday morning. 11 standout singers from 7 countries are set to compete this weekend in the final round of the world-renowned Lotte Lenya singing competition.
They're set to take the stage at Kilburn Hall, and you are invited to see who takes home the top prize.
Yes, for more on the show, we are joined now by Brady Sansoni, the Director of Programs and Business Affairs. He is in studio with us now. Thank you so much for waking up and coming in. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So talk to us, if you would, about this competition.
Yeah, it is a unique, one-of-a-kind competition in that it is not just a singing competition, it's a theatrical competition. So the contestants are evaluated by both their vocal abilities as well as their dramatic abilities. So they're coming out, they're acting, and they are singing. And what we really ask of them is the simple task of doing it all.
So I imagine this is musical theater based.
Exactly, the full spectrum, or a very wide spectrum of lyrical theater. They're going to sing something from an opera or operetta. They're going to sing a couple of selections from Broadway musicals, both a golden age and a contemporary one. And because this is put on by the Kurt Weill Foundation, of course, everyone will sing something by Kurt Weill.
Wow, very good. And so what is the process for getting involved in this? Is there an audition beforehand? How does it all work?
Yes, yeah, it is open to singers of ages 19 to 32 all over the world. About a third of our contestants are now coming from outside the United States. It is free to audition. We have 3 rounds. Preliminary auditions are due in January. About 6 weeks later, we have the semifinals, and that all leads up to the finals happening tomorrow.
And are there age requirements?
Yes, 19 to 32 is our age range for performers. We're trying to capture performers kind of in the emerging, on their way up stage. So that's the age group.
We don't have a chance.
No,
Abigail.
Unfortunately.
Me neither, so don't worry about it.
It's got to be so great to see such a wide range of talent from these people.
Yes, well, it's really remarkable, especially this year. As you noted, we have 11 contestants representing 7 countries and 4 continents. So this is our most internationally diverse contest by a long shot. We actually have more non-U.S. citizens than U.S. citizens. So
Wow.
on top of all the talent that will be on stage, this is sort of a celebration of these values and these performing styles happening all over the world.
Now, can you give us any ideas as to what some of these competitors will be performing? Do you know the song selections already?
Absolutely. Well, there are 2 events taking place, and if one goes to kwf.org/2020-25 finals, they can find the program for the finals. So that lists all the repertoire. I certainly won't list it all here, but as I said, each contestant is singing 4 selections across those 4 genres. The finals take place at 1 o'clock. That's where you can see all the repertoire. And then at 7:30 p.m., also in Kilbourne Hall, we have another event. Each finalist is going to come out. They're going to sing a new song, that is to say, something they didn't sing in the afternoon, and the audience will be the judge. They will vote. People in the hall or watching the live stream can vote online, and the first Audience Choice Award will be awarded that evening.
Wow.
That's excellent. For somebody sitting at home who wants to watch it, are they allowed to come and check it out?
Please, in person in Kilbourne, it is free. Ticketless event. It's also streaming live on our website at kwf.org.
Terrific. We will post all of that information and everything else you need to know if you want to go on our website after the show, foxrochester.com.
Stick around. We have a lot more to come here on ARC Rochester.
We're back on the other side of the break.
Much more to get to here on ARC Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour. Stephanie Joseph will break down some of our top political stories.
Yeah, she's there right now at the live desk with a preview of what's coming up at 9. Hey, Steph.
Hey there, guys. In today's political pulse, there's a shakeup in President Trump's cabinet. Mike Waltz is out as national security advisor following Signalgate, but he's not leaving the Trump administration. Find out what's next for Waltz. And details on the new executive order cutting federal funds to 2 public broadcasting organizations. Plus, the action President Trump is taking that he says defends religious freedom. That's all coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. ARC Rochester returns right after this.
morning, May 2nd. Thanks for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Friedman.
And I'm Dan Schrack. That is meteorologist Mark McLean. He's here with us again. We'll check in with him in just a moment. We do, though, want to head over to Stephanie Joseph with your ARC Rochester news break.
Here are some of the top local stories that we're following this Friday. The Rochester Police Accountability Board vowing to move forward despite another major legal setback. The state's highest court has blocked the PAB from taking any role in disciplining officers, including holding hearings, compelling officer testimony, or publishing case reports with recommendations. The ruling builds on a 2020 decision that already stripped the board's disciplinary powers. It's unclear, though, if the PAB will appeal as City Council works to determine next steps. In a statement, the Rochester Police Locust Club said it was pleased with the judge's ruling, writing in part, quote, "We have known for many years that the PAB's activities were outside of its statutory authority. The decision reflects that reality." In Irondequoit, Town Supervisor Andre Evans is taking the Monroe County Board of Elections to court, fighting to get on the Democratic primary ballot. Last week, the board said Evans was 11 signatures short of the 500 needed to qualify. But Evans says his petition included more than 600 valid signatures. Evans can still run for re-election as an independent, but only if he files by May 27th. We have reached out to the Board of Elections for comment and have not yet heard back. Now, this legal fight comes as Evans faces a civil lawsuit over sexual harassment claims. A judge recently denied his request to return to work in person after Evans was censured a second time and ordered to work remotely. The Monroe County DA says no criminal charges will be filed, but submitted a petition calling for his removal from office. Evans has denied any wrongdoing. An Orleans County man is facing several charges accused of raping a teenager in a public park. Albion police arrested 21-year-old Alan Bieber after a victim reported he forcibly raped them inside a village park last week. Bieber is charged with rape, sexual abuse, sexual misconduct, and endangering the welfare of a child. A Rochester man faces up to 30 years in prison after admitting to stealing thousands of dollars from his employer. Prosecutors say 37-year-old Michael Torres worked as a relationship manager at a financial institution and used his position to apply for loans in other people's names without their knowledge. In total, Torres applied for 19 loans worth $168,000, depositing the money into accounts he controlled. He also faces a fine of up to $1 million. For all these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Back to you.
All right, Steph, thanks. Let's get a check of the weekend forecast and the answer to today's weather trivia.
Yeah, today's trivia, and then we're going to have some fun space chat coming up, too, right after this. Can't wait. So the trivia today, 7 years ago on this date, Rochester set a record high temperature. What were you doing 7 years ago on this date? Were you enjoying it?
I was at the beach.
At the beach. If Elmira is the beach, you were certainly at the beach.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the choices. 85, 80, was it 90 or 95?
Abigail?
I'm going to go with 85.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay, that's the right answer. I'm not sure if I put the right answer in there. Let's see if I can't remember if I edited this or not.
Oh, only Julie got it.
Julie got it.
Wait.
Cheryl.
Was it?
Or wait.
Yeah,
What num-
A,
what
85.
letter was it?
85, yeah, A.
Okay.
It was A. Okay,
Yeah.
so Julie.
So, Cheryl.
Julie got it. Congrats,
Yeah,
Julie.
Woo, Julie.
Julie got it right. Let's see if I got it right on the graphic. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Okay, I highlighted
Is there
it
a
right.
fun fact about it, though?
There's a little factoid for
Okay.
reference. The normal high temperature for May 2nd in Rochester is 65 degrees. So that's 20 degrees higher than a normal high temperature for this time of the year. So pretty good stuff there. Oh, look at this doggy.
St.
Mandy.
Patrick's Day.
I know,
Yeah.
it must have been a photo from that. Look
Little
at the tongue
Mandy.
hanging out. Oh, Doug's loving life.
Love it.
Loving life. Muddy Paw Outlook says, yeah, we're going to have some showers around. Maybe for
Wow.
forever. I don't. You know, this
Forever?
rain may never end.
No.
It'll end.
Stop. Don't be so. Yeah.
I won't. It's Friday. Okay, so by the end of next week, this cutoff low may be kicking out of town. But, it's nice to see at least the sun was trying this morning. We do have some sprinkles and showers around at 64 with that west wind at 7. And Ultimate Doppler is picking that up, especially west into Genesee County. Got some showers there. The wider view shows that heavier rain that we had last night now well off to our northeast. So we're going to have to wait for that boundary back to the west, that blue line. That's a cold front. And it's just going to kind of hang around. This is one of those weather forecasts that just it's just tough to get any real change. You see that boundary stalls over central New York, and then low pressure grabs a hold of it, and this low just hangs around. It's going to be, a few waves. You see that thing just spinning around down towards Cincinnati. That's a cutoff low pressure. And
I like the umbrellas.
yeah, the umbrellas.
Those are fun.
Nice.
I was trying to sneak those in. This kind of a weather setup, unfortunately, doesn't give us a lot of change. We'll have mostly cloudy sky, really, for many of the upcoming days. Some occasional rain showers, and it's just going to be tough to time out the showers as they come on through. But should make it up to near 70 today before we drop back into the 40s later tonight. And the extended forecast has us back in the 50s for the weekend as that cold front slides southeast to Rochester. Maybe some slow clearing towards the end of that period. But, one nice part about this is when you have a pattern like this, you don't get the big swings in temperature. So you don't see low lows and you don't see high highs, which for the gardening community and horticulture lovers is a good thing this time of the year. You don't want to see the big swings, especially the big dips.
Yeah.
That takes care of fruit tree buds and lots of other problems that come along with that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So you gave us a bunch of bulbs yesterday
Yes.
for the elephant ears.
Yeah.
Is it okay if someone accidentally left them in their trunk overnight?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
So-
totally forgot that I even had them.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
You were being mean to Steph earlier.
I know. I wasn't being mean.
No?
I just had a very accusatory tone.
About?
Because she left hers here at work. She forgot to bring it home.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Do you remember yesterday when I said I can't take one right now because I'm not going to be home and I want to take proper care of it? I
Yes,
just want to say
that's
I
right.
feel like I maybe won the elephant ear. That's all.
Yeah.
You won the
I
elephant
won
ear?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
They're
listen.
still back in weather. I still have a
Yeah,
few more.
and go ahead
Anybody
and take
wants
it
any
home,
more.
but it's not going to live.
Yeah. Perfect time to pot them. So,
You can't water them with vodka.
you can potatoes, though.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are the worst. Marty,
love
too.
you.
Marty was in here making me angry earlier, too. I can't win.
Oh, it's a Friday.
I'm just trying to get one of those emails out of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We can't talk about that.
No, we're going to talk about it in Jerk or Justified later
really?
on this
No,
morning.
we're
Yep,
not.
we sure
That'd be
are.
good. That'd be good.
Stick around. When we come back, we're bringing you some out-of-this-world news.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, take us on the go wherever you are. Stream us live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back after this.
9:11 this morning, time for another edition of Space News here on ARC Rochester. And this morning, we are celebrating National Space Day.
Yeah, specifically today, we're talking about the Juno mission and how it's going to help us learn more about Jupiter. We're joined now by NASA Ambassador Tony Rice to talk about it. Tony, always great to see you, sir. Thank you for being here.
He's our space ace.
Thanks for having me back.
Space ace, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. First of all, happy National Space Day. Tell us a little bit about the Juno mission.
So the Juno mission is a fascinating one. There's actually 3 planets out there that we pay a lot of attention to. Venus is one. Mars, obviously, we've put a lot of rovers and things on Mars. It's very geologically interesting. But the other atmospherically interesting mission, or planet I should say, is Jupiter. And Jupiter is a fascinating place to go and study. We sent the Juno mission there back many years ago. I was actually at the launch, so that was exciting to see. That was one of my first launch opportunities. The thing about Jupiter is it's so far away, it's difficult to maintain a mission there. The Juno mission is the furthest out we have put a solar-powered spacecraft. All the other spacecraft that we put out past about the orbit of Mars have been powered by essentially nuclear power. We need that kind of long-lasting power to assist the mission and ensure that we can run it for years and years and years. We actually have the 3 solar panels that are extending off the Juno spacecraft are the size of school buses.
Oh my gosh.
I want to talk a little bit more about going to Jupiter. How long does it take that spacecraft after it does, its revolutions around Earth and slingshots, I'm sure around some other planets to make it there? How long is that trip?
We're talking years in time frame, and the way we get to other planets has changed a lot over the years. You think back to the Apollo era when we're going to the moon. It's a little bit different when we got people on board. We want to get there as soon as possible. But with spacecraft, you might have seen in sci-fi movies and in mentions of other missions that we'll use slingshot maneuvers. Well, we will fly past other planets to use their gravity to give us a boost. That's been done with missions like Juno, so it will take several years to get there.
Hey, Tony, what's the, in terms of the Juno mission, what's the most fascinating data find so far from that probe as it's been around Jupiter and also the moon Io, right? It's been studying a little bit on Io.
So I believe it was last week in Vienna at a conference, the Juno team, the science team that is studying all the data that's coming off of Juno, announced some findings about some incredible weather going on Jupiter. We've been studying this for years. It's actually visible with backyard telescopes, believe it or not, because some of the cyclones, some of the cloud tops that are in this gas giant, particularly around the poles, are bigger than the continent of Australia. And the winds there are moving at over 200 miles an hour. And they're using a couple of different instruments to find these things, instruments that were designed for other things. And for me, I'm a data scientist by training. That's what's most fascinating to me is how we can take all these different instruments and take these data sets that were intended to study other things. In this case, that instrument was focused on the aurora. We actually see aurora on Jupiter. They took those data sets and they combined them to learn different things, more insight into those incredibly strong winds up there, how long they might last, how they evolve over time. And it may seem like, this is, millions and billions of miles away. What does it have to do with Earth weather? But the physics work the same on Jupiter as they would anywhere else. So we can learn lots of things about the weather on Jupiter that we can apply here on Earth.
That's incredible. And has Juno been used to study the Great Red Spot? Do we have any data on that?
We're always keeping our eye on the Great Red Spot. It's actually shrinking. It's many Earths across.
Not so great red spot.
Huge. Yeah, and you mentioned Io too. That same instrument set that we use to study the cloud tops and those vortices up at the poles of Jupiter. We use that same data set to study the moon Io, which we'd always assumed or had learned through some other missions had a volcanic past, to peer under the surface of the moon Io and see lava moving underneath there. So that's what fascinates me, is how we can take these data sets and just gain all sorts of other understandings. And even, one day it's a machine, Juno will no longer function someday in the future. We hope that's not for a while, and NASA engineers do a great job of keeping these missions running forever. But one day it will no longer work, but that data will be around forever. We can still reuse that data in different ways to learn new things.
Okay, and Tony, along the theme of orbiting spacecraft, in the early 1970s, and this is one that just caught my eye. I was reading on space weather. The Soviet era, early 1970s mission to Venus had a probe in the atmosphere that didn't quite get escape velocity, right? And
Right.
could be some interesting things around that. Have you had any looks at that yet?
Yeah, I was taking a look at that. I got that same notification. I think they call it a high interest reentry.
Yes.
So the Cosmos 482 mission, the Soviets were involved in a pretty long running Venera program that ran from the 60s through the early 80s, where they were trying to put things into orbit around Venus. I mentioned Venus is a fascinating place to study. The Soviets and the Americans have studied it quite a bit, but it's pretty hard to get there. So early on in the program, there's a number of failures, but this was one of them. Part of that mission has already re-entered a couple of weeks after it launched, landed in New Zealand, I believe it was. But other parts of the mission have been in Earth orbit since then, and that orbit has decayed to the point where we're keeping our eye on it, and they're kind of targeting around, I hesitate to give a date, but we don't see the middle date of May 10th. It could be any time before or after that. It will re-enter. And what's interesting about this is that particular mission was designed to land on Venus. And to get through the Venus atmosphere, which is more than 90 times more dense than Earth's, that's a pretty tough spacecraft. So when this does re-enter Earth's relatively puny atmosphere, it could create quite a show. We don't know when that's going to happen. Therefore, we don't know where that's going to happen.
Well, we're going to have to keep our eyes to the sky on that. Hey, quick question for you. Tomorrow night, I am going to see astrophysicist Brian Cox speak. There is no Q&A that I'm aware of, but I have got a million questions that I want to ask him. But give me some suggestions. If I only get one chance to ask one thing, what should I ask?
So I've gotten the opportunity to talk to some great astrophysicists like that. I've gotten the opportunity to speak to astronauts. And the question I ask them over and over again, because you want to learn about them as people as well, find out what his journey was. You'll be surprised how different everybody's journey to get to that high level of science that they are in. We tell our kids, and I think we do them a bit of a disservice when here's the path you follow. You study this, and then you go get this degree, and you get that degree. That's not how. Once you talk to a couple of these people, you learn that everybody's journey is quite a bit different, and that journey builds them into the scientists they are when you finally make it to that high level. So I would ask them about that.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Tony, we really appreciate your time today and all of the really interesting information. You caught my attention with that May 10th date. I'm like locked into that now.
Mark it on
I knew
the
I shouldn't have thrown that
calendar,
date out there.
Yeah.
Around then.
Sure,
around then.
Okay, all right.
Really, really hard to predict those reentry dates because of our just changing atmosphere. The top of our atmosphere is very, very lumpy.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, the density changes a lot, and that's what makes it very difficult to figure out when these things are going to come down.
Well, we'll keep watching. Tony Rice, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Time right now is 9:20. When we come back, Steph will be here breaking down some of the top political headlines.
Your political pulse is coming up next.
It's time for a political pulse check here on ARC Rochester. We begin with a cabinet shakeup for the Trump administration. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is out, but he could have a new role. Instead, Waltz has been nominated as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. President Trump making that announcement on Truth Social here, saying, quote, "From his time in uniform on the battlefield, in Congress, and as my national security advisor, Mike Waltz has worked hard to put our nation's interests first. I know he will do the same in his new role." Previous nominee, New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, withdrew to help preserve the GOP's slim House majority. UN ambassador does require Senate confirmation, meaning Waltz will face a hearing and vote.
It's a sad moment, I think, for Mike Waltz, than rather resign on principle and say, look, I'm just not going to compromise my integrity anymore to work for this president. He's actually taken a booby prize in being the UN ambassador.
So who will take over for Waltz in the interim? Trump announced it would be Secretary of State Marco Rubio. That makes Rubio the first person since Henry Kissinger to be both Secretary of State and National Security Advisor. Waltz has been on shaky ground since Signalgate. That's when he mistakenly added a journalist to a group chat on the app Signal, where attack plans in Yemen were shared with other national security officials, allegedly by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. But some lawmakers feel Waltz is the only person facing consequences. One senator suggesting Hegseth should be held accountable.
You know, the part that was most troubling to me about this was the information that was shared, not accidentally putting a journalist on there. That is, that was an unfortunate mistake. The intentional piece of this was sharing incredibly sensitive information about a strike off of an aircraft carrier, putting pilots at risk. I think that's where the accountability should be, not with the National Security Advisor.
Now, in addition to the first group chat, a second Signal chat linked to the defense secretary is now under review. A Pentagon watchdog will look into the matter. Investigators are expected to look into how the information was shared from Hegseth's secure communication system to the app. This time, Hegseth is accused of sharing attack plans with his wife, brother, and his lawyer. Hegseth's wife is not a Pentagon employee. His brother, Phil, is a liaison and senior advisor for the Department of Homeland Security. This latest review expands on an investigation early last month by the Defense Department's Inspector General. Well, President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to cut federal funding for NPR and PBS. The order directs the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to end government funding for the public stations. The CPB rather, was created by Congress as an independent entity designed to shield public media from government control. NPR and PBS have long faced criticism from Republicans over what they call a, quote, left-wing bias. The president's order is expected to face a legal challenge. And finally this morning, President Trump signed another executive order establishing a presidential commission on religious liberty. Now, at a National Day of Prayer event, Trump said, quote, "We're bringing back religion in our country." It's expected to be comprised of 14 people appointed by the president. Those members would serve until July 4th of next year. According to the White House, the goal of the commission is to come up with a report on the, quote, foundations of religious liberty in America, current threats to domestic religious liberty, and much more. And be sure to stay with ARC Rochester for your top political headlines. We're back after this.
morning live.
Oh my goodness, it's 75 degrees in this studio right now. It's hot as you know what. And
I'm comfortable. It was 60 degrees in
Mark
here.
is literally, he's melting in the weather center right now.
Fine. Everybody's fine. Give me your jacket and then we'll be fine.
All right, we're going to take a look at some of the stories that are trending right now that have people talking in today's edition of Trending Now.
All right, this is a secret menu item that's being described.
Sorry.
It's being described by some as summer in a cup.
Okay, a TikTok user recently posted a video sharing their go-to secret menu item from McDonald's. They call it?
Go ahead.
A cotton candy Sprite. I love cotton candy.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so to order, you need to ask for a large Sprite and then ask them to add a few pumps of French vanilla syrup. The secret menu item took off and went viral online.
Users posting their own reactions to the drink, saying it's now the only way they will drink Sprite.
Others are saying it's way too sweet to their liking, but they see why it's popular and does remind them of summer. So, Ashley, I guess
we're gonna try it.
You gave it to us?
Who went to McDonald's?
John, producer John. He's my little.
Aw, thank you, John. What'd
Santa's
she
helper.
just call him?
Her helper?
A mule?
I said a mule.
Oh.
Well, he got a Happy Meal, I guess. Okay. All right.
Disclaimer: John and I tried it. We took a little sip. That's why one of the.
They tried yours.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's good.
What did you think? Was it good?
It's really good.
It's really good. Oh boy. Okay, hold on.
I have not. The last time I had soda, couldn't tell you how long.
A McDonald's Sprite is literally top tier soda.
Why?
It's just so good. There's
Okay.
no explaining it.
All right.
Okay.
It's good. I'm not gonna lie. It really just tastes like Sprite
Doesn't
to
it?
me.
Yeah. Doesn't it taste like Sprite?
Well, hold on. Actually, I get it now. You know what it tastes like?
What?
They used to have this bubble gum when I was a kid. It was like cotton candy flavored bubble gum. That's what it tastes like.
Tastes like Sprite, I think.
What? Say it louder, Mark.
Yeah. Say it louder, Mark. What's it taste like? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Good thing Mark's mic was not hot.
Yeah. They call that a
Goodness.
mortgage moment, don't they?
Yes,
Marky
they
Mark?
certainly do. Okay, what are your thoughts?
It's good. It's fine. I wouldn't order it.
Yeah,
It just kind of tastes like Sprite.
You know what I think we needed here?
Tell me.
We needed this and we needed a control. We needed a regular Sprite to try
Yeah.
to see if because that might be what changes it.
Yeah.
If you haven't had this, don't order it.
I mean, it's fine.
They're going to charge you more for a pump of what?
They did not charge us more.
Well, now we're giving them ideas.
Yeah.
I hear the CEO of McDonald's is a big fan of the
Big
show.
fan of
Big
the show.
fan.
He or she. I don't know who.
I thought, okay. Yes, you're right. Okay.
Hey, we're going to move along. Nike is calling on fans to embrace the stain.
Oh boy. All right. The athletic brand Nike releasing a new version of its classic Air Force One sneaker, but it comes with a little bit of a catch.
Okay. There it is. No, that's not it because we can't show it.
These are the originals.
These are the
This is what
originals.
They're made off of.
The dirty triple white shoes feature a pre-scuffed, worn-in look.
All right, so imagine these, but they're dirty.
As users wear the shoes, a scratch-away panel will actually become cleaner.
Okay, so the brand says they're intentionally designed to appear dirty and used to create a vintage and rustic aesthetic.
Okay. Rory, come in here. You're wearing Air Force Ones, aren't you?
No, I'm not. Oh.
What are those? Oh, well, come stand here. Camera 2, get ready to take Rory's feet. The designs has sparked debate online with mixed reactions from fans and critics. Well, yeah.
Some are asking why they would pay full price for shoes that look worn. The shoes are available.
What?
$130?
$130 to wear shoes that look dirty.
Yeah. Let's get a shot of Rory's shoes here.
We
Hold on.
could have had live VO instead of just a picture of
A clean shoe.
a clean shoe. I don't understand that. I'm not going to pay $130 for a shoe that, there you go.
Work it, Rory.
Yeah.
Come on, give us a little. There we go.
Model the shoes, Rory.
Dad's shoe right there.
Dad's shoes.
How come, why aren't you wearing your own?
My dad was like, they're too small for me, so.
Oh.
Too hip for Dad, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
Stick around.
Thanks, Rory.
When we come back this morning, it's the Weekend Buzz.
Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. Stream us live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back on the other side of the break.
I've heard the story 19 times
You're
today.
being so dramatic.
19 times.
And you know what? I get angrier.
Every person that walks into the studio, guess what happened to me?
Excuse me, at the warm-up this morning at 5 minutes to 5, you were ranting about
I know.
I saw.
I know. You know
have
what?
a lot of anger today.
No, you know
Should
what?
we turn this into like a therapy session?
No,
instead
okay. I got to throw some hands. That's what I need. I don't need therapy. I need to fight. That's what I need to do.
It's time for our favorite part of every Friday, the Weekend Buzz. Scott and Sandy here in studio with us.
Okay,
this
so
morning.
this will continue your fire.
Okay.
Great.
Light the
Bring it
flame.
on. I'm like channeling Dan. It's like I'm like Dan level angry right now.
I feel like we need to be the nice ones now.
I know. I feel like, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
You know, we always do Jerk or Justified on the radio every morning, and we had a good one the other day.
This is okay. So first, let's put the question out there. What is that one thing someone could say to completely offend you after they spent some time in your house? Okay, so think about that, because Mary, who's part of the Buzz fam, she was telling us that she had a contractor in her house, okay? Now, the contractor was working on the basement. So, you know, that kind of job, finishing off the basement,
takes a
couple
while.
weeks, right?
Yeah.
He's in the house for a while. After he finishes the job, he says to her, and this is what you're going to judge, Jerk or Justified. His quote was, "Wow, this is the loudest house I have ever done work in. She has 3 boys, 2 twins, and the twins are 5, and then she has a 3-year-old. And she's like, she laughed it off. For the record, Mary saw no problem with this. She laughed it off. She says, well, this is my life. And I'm the one who's like, Mary, that is the most offensive thing you could say.
Oh,
right?
As a, contract. He's been in the house for a while, so, but still.
I feel like, what was the rapport between them like?
Well, okay, so in this specific case, they are friends, kind of like he's a neighbor / contractor. So
Okay.
he's doing work on her house. But I don't even think that makes it justified.
I just don't get why you would say anything at all. Just keep it to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's a smack in the face.
Yeah.
You do not
no
know how to
kidding, my
control your
house is
kids.
loud. I live in it. I probably know. Like,
Why state the obvious?
Yeah.
Well, some people don't know that their house is loud.
Okay, he said it was justified, and kid you not, every single person who called into the show, messaged us on social media, said it was justified.
Yeah.
wow.
You can say that. It was kind of similar to what I said at the playground the other day.
What'd you say at the playground?
Here's another joker justified.
Yeah, it's pretty much you said the same thing.
Well, I was at the playground with Ellie. She's 5, and there was this little munchkin, younger, just at that age where all they are is feet, and they just go like the wind-up Energizer bunny. And Grandma and Grandpa were chasing him around, hunched over like, and she's like this, and I look at her, I go,
And he says,
"Oh, he's a handful." I said, "She's a handful." She's a handful, huh? She's like, "Yeah, I'm getting too old for this." And Sandy's like, "How dare you say
it's the
things
same
like that to people you
thing.
don't know?"
Why?
Because she was a handful. I could tell. I was channeling her. As also, I feel your pain because I've been there.
Yeah, but don't you agree? Either we're too sensitive, right? Or it's...
Whoa, hold on. No, we're not too sensitive.
Okay, but
You are.
everyone gave him justification too for saying that.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The funny part is, she had her hair up, she's a cute little thing running around. And I'm like, she's quite a handful. Yeah. But just before we were leaving, I heard the grandpa say, "Come here, buddy. I guess it was a little boy and I didn't know." That's the jerker justified. You ever done that? "Oh, look how cute. What's his name?" It's a girl.
Yeah, that's a bow in his hair.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready to make a ruling.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
I'm going to go jerk.
I'm going to go justified for you.
Why? Wait, it's the same thing.
Wait.
Okay.
Pump,
Okay.
yeah,
Sorry.
brakes.
Okay. Sorry.
Simmer, Donna.
I'm channeling her anger right now.
I know.
Okay.
Arms
God.
folded anger.
3 minutes
Because it's
together.
negative degrees.
Oh, I see.
No, it's because we just turned the air back on from 75. It was 75 in here. And I'm going to say, depending on the rapport and depending on how this is the loudest house I've ever been in, was delivered, I could say, absolutely, I don't see anything wrong with it. Because because it could have come with a, "Oh my gosh, I've got 5 kids at home. This is..."
But it didn't. It was, quote, "Wow, this is the loudest house I've ever done work in." If it was, the only time it could be justified if the dude was like, "Oh my God, this is such a fun house. This is the loudest
Was
house I've been
he
in."
on the phone with somebody else?
Face. Yo, I'm done with your job. Peace out.
Yeah, thanks for the check. You got a loud house.
That pretty much says, do you need an escape plan? Because this is the loudest
Blink
house I've
twice
ever-
if you need help.
I mean,
This is coming from a contractor. This is a guy who
Does
uses
she
like
need an
jackhammers in the
Well,
basement.
she might. No, I don't know.
Okay, I've got one for you.
Okay.
Here's a jerker justified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say you're supposed to be somewhere. You have an appointment to meet with someone on a regular basis at a specific time.
Okay.
And it's like court ordered. You've got to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you don't pass.
Right.
You don't graduate or
Right.
something.
Okay.
Something like that.
And you have, in the past, you've blown it off for a hobby of yours.
Okay.
And while, listen, it's a good hobby to have
Yeah.
for what you want to do, you can't do that hobby. You're not allowed to build that ship in a bottle when you're supposed to be in court.
There's
you
a-
have to be in court
Okay.
at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Time and place for your hobby.
Absolutely. But say you miss that court appointment The judge leaves and sees you sitting on the steps building a ship in a bottle. What is the judge allowed to say?
Oh, what's the judge allowed to say? Allowed to say?
Yeah.
I think the judge is allowed to kick the bottle out of his hand, but to say, doesn't have to say a thing, just bye-bye.
Kick the bottle out of his hand.
Yeah.
Does the judge say, you're supposed to be here next Thursday, but waste of my time, so nope, don't show up?
Yeah.
Or does the judge say, I'm going to give you another chance, John?
No, no chances. No more
No
chances.
chances.
No, I don't think
Say no more chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say it's justified.
I say.
No
Justified
chances.
I think
no,
to say
no
no
more
chances?
chances.
No going
yeah.
back.
Justified.
No, that ship has sailed, pal.
in the bottle itself.
Yeah.
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 Well,
You're not coming back to court.
Not going.
Right, no.
Not
Go
coming
directly
back
to
to
jail.
The court doors are locked. I
Yes.
mean, we change. Right, they're
Yeah.
locked, closed.
Out you go,
But
baby.
the cell is open.
The cell is open.
It is. Have fun with your ships.
Yeah.
Fun with your ships.
Boy.
I hope you can make money with those ships.
Huh?
You know,
Can you make money with the ships?
From jail? I'm not sure.
Probably not. And I mean,
I hear
certainly couldn't get a job making ships with you two now.
Right. Not like they can get on the radio with us or anything.
Ruined that chance. Sorry, Chuck. Hey, stick around. We got a lot more to come. Scott and Sandy are back on the other side of the break. It's First Try Friday.
Uh-oh. We're back. Hold on, I gotta fix this.
We are back now with Scott and Sandy for First Try Friday. Abby is still crabby.
Yeah.
Crabby
It's
Abby.
almost like we should broadcast what happens in between the segment. Okay.
I know.
We made Krabby Patties for you.
Yeah. Oh, that's what this is. So this is a special kind of candle that maybe we were thinking this would be a great idea for Mother's Day.
Okay.
For Mother's Day brunch or whatever.
Okay.
You can set these out.
Yeah, this is our First Try Friday event thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what makes this a special candle is that it's made of butter. Now this
Okay.
is vegan, plant-based buttery sticks.
I like it.
The bread, I'm not sure if you could.
That's okay.
I know.
That's
Just get to
okay.
eat the butter.
But anyhow, so here's the trend is to make butter candles, and I think it's the coolest thing. And actually, shout out to Jan from the Ladder Road Wegmans.
Oh, Jan saw Sandy in line. She's like, oh my God, I watched you guys on that First Try Friday thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Jan.
So Jan, and she was very interested about this too. So anyhow, I think it's the coolest thing. You just get a Dixie cup, whatever size you want, paper cup, put it on the bread, cut around it, okay,
Yep.
make a hole.
Yep.
Then you melt some butter. And you can put, like, I've seen people, like, this has rosemary in it, but I've seen people
Oh, I
put
thought that was
cinnamon.
soot.
I know, it does look like it's a dirty candle.
No, it
but
looks good.
Oh, okay.
I've seen people put, like, Parmesan cheese or whatever you want, so melt the butter.
So you can make like an herb butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Put
cool.
it in
Ooh,
a dish,
garlic
melt the butter,
butter.
pour it in the cup, put this in, or you have to get a special wick, though, by the way. Natural wick.
Okay.
They
Natural
sell them
wick.
at Hobby Lobby. I got that
Yeah.
at Hobby
Okay.
Lobby. Yeah, so it's like food safe wick.
Food grade, food safe.
Yep. Put it, wick, melted butter in the freezer, rip the cup off of
Yep.
it,
Throw it
put
in.
it in there.
You know what's cool is you
and
can
now
make.
you can.
You could probably make a handful of them
Yeah.
and
can
put them in
take
and
it.
have them
Thanks.
for all year long.
You could,
for,
well,
barbecues.
and you could also
or-
give them
Very
out. I'm
ice
gonna-
cold. In a good
Thank
way.
you.
In a good way.
Like,
So
you know why?
you
It's
light the
delicious.
bread on fire? Is that what this is?
Ooh, you probably
You could
could.
toast it.
You probably could a
Like
little
a
bit,
little
right?
crouton.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
like s'mores?
Yeah, like just like
crouton.
yeah.
Yeah, and then you just
Crisp it up a
kind of-
little bit.
You can definitely taste.
The wick?
Sorry.
Wow.
You can taste that it's been cooking. You can
that a
taste
bad
the
thing?
burn.
You could taste
Oh,
the fire
wait, you can taste the fire.
Yeah.
a little bit.
Oh, hold on a second. Unless it's the vegan
No.
buttery stick.
It could be the weird butter.
No, I can promise you it's not the weird butter.
So what's
It's
happening
making
right
a
now?
noise.
Yeah.
What's
It's a
happening
very
right
loud-
now is
Because it's cooking the butter.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Do we like this?
No.
I don't. No. I mean, it's edible, but I'm
Oh,
gonna.
I was so excited about this one.
If you got this for Mother's Day, how would you feel?
Well, if like you're setting up the tablescape, which is not really my forte to make things look pretty, but it kind of looks cool.
It does look
It's a cool concept. I almost double dipped. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay because it's on fire. It kind of tastes. It
Yeah.
kind of tastes like house fire.
It really does.
Like a house fire. It does. It does.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got a little bit of the flame has done something
Yeah.
to the taste of the butter. Unless it's the rosemary, which I don't think it is.
No, the rosemary, I'm sure was a good add.
Is it unsalted butter?
I'm not sure. I just saw vegan and got excited.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
And it's all his fault then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I can taste the flame, and that
Right?
is- that is like just lick a fireplace while you're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may want to try it with regular butter to see, but I'm pretty sure that's the actual burn of afterburn.
Yeah.
Wow, what a stupid trend.
No!
Wow, I don't like.
Well, because it's First Try Friday, it will also be the last try on this
There you go.
little thing
Thumbs
here.
down.
So don't try this at home. Meaning don't.
But it looks pretty.
It does look good. Sandy, I gotta ask, where do you come up with these First Try Friday? Is it always Sandy who comes up with them?
I came up with the
Dalgona.
yeah, the coffee.
Oh, that's
one.
right. That's right. Yeah.
We just kind of.
I found out it's 5 years old. The trend.
Listen, I got a great pump at the gym that morning.
Did ya?
Yeah, I did.
Stuff was.
I did.
That's like rocket fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always looking for, if anyone has any suggestions that you see something that you're wondering, like before I invest in doing that.
Yeah.
You could
Did
try
you try
it.
our Sprite?
No, I didn't.
Oh
I heard
my
about
gosh,
it.
do
What
we
was-
have the Sprites?
They're right. Mine is right there.
You didn't really give it a great review.
Is this homemade Sprite?
It just tastes like Sprite.
It's a cotton candy.
Do we have
Oh, is
any
that how we're
cups?
doing
Do we
it?
have
Is that
cups
how
in
we're
this
We have
room?
cups?
sanitizing?
Look.
You know how they sanitized it? He
Intern
just took
Rory.
a napkin to the...
That's fine.
I don't have cups in here, so we can just do this.
What is
You've
it?
got Dixie cups right there.
Oh yeah. Who knew? There you go.
So it's Sprite with what in it, Ashley?
Vanilla?
French vanilla flavoring.
French vanilla flavoring. It's supposed to make it taste like cotton candy. We don't have a control, though. We only have the Sprite with the vanilla flavoring.
It
It
tastes like...
finishes
right.
vanilla.
It finishes vanilla.
It finishes
What
vanilla.
if
Yes.
we
It
do-
Stephanie's like, oh, bougie.
What if we do Sprite? Look, we're going to start something
Ooh.
right here. Sprite into the butter, into
my-
the flame.
Oh my god! Now she's.
Just gone off the rails.
What?
No.
It's not good. There's no
Try
way.
it.
You made me eat the wet pizza.
Try
I
it.
really don't.
Right? I remember
Wait,
that.
it adds a little...
Does it? Now you
Sod.
have
So
It adds something to
I
it.
like what it does to the Sprite. I really do. I'd add a little bit more vanilla to it.
In case either of you need this.
No, it doesn't taste that bad. It just tastes like soggy bread now.
Why did you make me eat it?
I don't know.
Why did you even have that idea? I wouldn't even
not
do that.
good. That's
I
not
eat
good.
weird things. I wouldn't even do that.
This is how things...
This is how First Try Friday goes. This is how
Exactly.
you invent things.
Oh, I see.
I used to do that kind of stuff all the time.
We'll be back with the ARC test kitchen in just a few minutes.
I think we need that.
Okay, okay.
We've been asking for a kitchen set.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
If you get a kitchen set, I will come and cook every week for you guys. I promise.
Really?
I promise. I love to cook.
He promises a lot
Family
of things.
style meal.
Ooh.
Yeah, sure.
Like you've got to feed. I don't know what's in the building right now. We've probably got 45 people in the building.
I'll have to
Every
call my son. He has to
Friday?
help. Yeah. He has
Every
to,
Friday.
Yeah, you're doing the last hour of the show. I'm coming here.
Or you could feed department by department.
We got to go.
Wait, you're looking for a personal chef? I just thought I'd do it for the never mind. No, I'll pass.
Oh, or you can go to Dan's house every night.
There you go. Every night, just show up. When we come back, this morning's final thought.
We're back after this.
Hey, it's time for our final thoughts. I know we are running low on time, but we do have to send a big shout out this morning to one of our producers.
Yes.
Hannah Deschalet. That's not going to be her last name for long, though, because she got engaged.
The story is great.
Right?
Yes, I heard the story.
Absolutely. They just got back from the UK. Spent a bit of time over there, and I think that's where the question was popped.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed. She told. I just met her in the hallway. She's so cute. He was expecting to do it in Paris before they left Paris, but it was so stressful and it was so crazy. Never got a chance to. They went to Kensington Park in London, where she has been before, one of her favorite places. And he finally's like, hey, let's do a selfie. And when she did that, he had the box open.
How's that?
That's a good
Cool.
That's a good way to start a marriage.
How cute is
That does it for us here on ARC Rochester. Make sure to wake up with us Monday morning starting at 4:57. Abigail, what channel are we on then?
13 Wham ABC. Join Steph and Mark there later today. It's Christian. It's Christian. Join Christian and Mark there for 13 Wham News at midday. Have a good weekend.
Bye. We're checking reflexes.